Welcome to Mind Your Mind. Mind Your Mind podcast is for busy people like you who want to enjoy life and free up their time and emotional space by learning valuable tools for self-care and mindfulness. Our weekly topics are filled with compelling discussions and practical solutions to increase your productivity and healthy living. I'm your host, Joseph Tropper, and I'm honored to have you here with me today. Welcome to episode 0. That's right, 0. This is the episode that's kind of before we start. It's just the About Me episode in case you're wondering, okay, yeah, I know Mind Your Mind, it's a great idea, self-care, I'm in, but who's Joseph Tropper and how are you going to help me and how do you know how to help me? Well, it's a very valid question and let me answer. And one of my big goals is I want to help you learn how to get motivated and stay on track and live a fulfilling life, how to deal with stress and your everyday challenges, and how to enhance your relationships. So that's what it's all about because self-care starts here. Of course, we'll start off with my quote of Steve Maraboli. He said, "The most powerful relationship you'll ever have is the relationship with yourself." And those words couldn't resonate more truly. So let's talk about how I have the ability to help you. Well, I have 15 years of experience in the field of mental health counseling and the field of life coaching and mentoring. I have a master's degree in mental health counseling, and I have a passion towards helping other people. In fact, the main reason that I've started this podcast is two. Firstly, because many of my clients have said, "Joe, that's really good. Can I get a recording of that?" And sometimes I have to tell them no because I don't allow people to record during session. And so here's a recording of actually well thought out, well presented things that I've had the opportunity to listen to and know, okay, now I'm giving over that information. The second reason is because when you're in private practice, which I am, and I'm also a manager at a private practice, we don't have the opportunity to impact large scales of people. Yes, we can make tremendous impacts on individual people, and it's phenomenal and so rewarding and an amazing opportunity and something I wouldn't trade for anything else. But at the same time, through a podcast, I believe that this message of hope and self-care, which is so important and can really change your life, is something that could be very, very well shared with other people. I'm a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Maryland, and I also have specialized training in couples counseling, depression, anxiety issues, and trauma. And you'll hear that coming up in some of our topics that we're going to cover. So that's a little bit of information about me. Let me talk to you about what you could expect on the Mind Your Mind podcast. Well, it should come as no surprise that one of my main goals for Mind Your Mind podcast is that you will have an opportunity to listen to me while you're jogging on the treadmill or at the gym or taking a walk outside and taking care of yourself, because that's something that I'll be promoting. Now, I hope I don't scare you off by saying that. There's no obligation. You could listen to me while you're sitting on the couch too. But here's what I hope to cover in a short podcast, probably no more than 10 minutes. And this is what I hope to have, about 7 things. First of all, I'm going to start with an opening, just quick intro to the topic I'm talking about. Then I'm going to present, number 2, some facts, just cold facts about that topic of interest, just so that we can differentiate between the third part and the rest of it, which is my own opinion, my own take and ideas about how I deal with these things, what I advise. I'm going to always have a favorite quote in there because I think that's important. Love to have different quotes, something that you could take home with you. Next thing, I'll have some practical solutions, which is the most important part here. How do I make my life better? Those are all nice theories. That's all great research, Joe. But can you translate that into practical application? And the answer is yes, absolutely. One of my favorite sections is also the question and answer one, so that you'll have an opportunity to submit your questions on. First, I'll have questions about the specific topic that podcast is covering, but then I'll also open up sometimes questions for any other topics. Of course, I'll get to the disclaimers in a minute. And then, of course, at the end, we'll leave with a closing and the recap. Now, if you want to submit any questions, just feel free to visit our website at mindyourmindonline.com, and you'll see all the information there. There's some really cool stuff there as well. Who is this podcast for? Well, it's for busy people who are trying to make their life better, whether you're a college student in the working field or someone studying psychology, maybe you're even a therapist yourself, or maybe you're a client seeing a therapist, guy or gal, whatever it is. All I want to do is give you some thought-provoking ideas to help you become a more self-care-minded person. And 2 reasons that I call this Mind Your Mind are because, number 1, of course, the implications of Mind Your Mind is if you don't take care of your mind, if you don't take care of your psychology and your emotional needs, no one else will. So you got to advocate for yourself. We'll talk all about that. And the second thing is because I wanted to evoke mindfulness. Now, if that scares you, the idea of mindfulness and meditation, you're not alone. A lot of people are scared of that. And I'll try to share some positive things and some positive exercises with you throughout. But I believe that mindfulness is a very helpful quality, whether you're sitting and meditating in the middle of Times Square or in the middle of your living room or any other way. There are many ways to do meditation. I'm certainly not prescribing you to sit for 3 hours and meditate a day, but mindfulness just means, in my definition, being present in the present moment in any which way that you do that. So that's a really important thing that I hope to be able to do with you. Just a couple of quick disclaimers and important legal things, which is that there is no legal advice given here, there's no medical advice, and there's even no psychological advice, in the sense that these are all self-care things. You need to speak to your own therapist, your own mentor, your own advisors to be able to apply things to your own unique situations. If there's something that I say that makes you wonder, hey, is that advice for me? Then I encourage you to speak to someone so that you could find out how to apply that properly in your life. And of course, whatever you choose to do with the things that I'm encouraging, they should always be with proper legal, medical, and psychological advice. In no way do I want to take the place of a therapist. I simply want to come as an adjunct to enhance your life. In parting, I want to read to you a poem which has a lot of meaning to me. And it's a poem that I wrote. It's called Human Strength and Vulnerability. And I welcome you to check that out. It's on our website at mindyourmindonline.com, and you could download that for free if you like the poem. And I think that it's something that really just expresses how I look at life and how I look at people, how I look at myself. And I think it's really important. This poem has a lot of meaning because I wrote it while working a very intense caseload, working with a lot of people and seeing a lot of people struggling and having challenges. And I really wanted to express to them what therapy is about and what we could do together. It also has a lot of meaning because the background that I made for the poem, as you'll see, is actually from a trip that my wife and I and our family took to Hawaii. So you'll see that on there, and I think it's a nice background. So I'm going to read this to you, and you'll see where I'm coming from. It's called Human Strength and Vulnerability. Being strong does not mean we have no weakness. Being brave does not mean we have no fear. Being tall does not mean we have no shortcomings. Being happy does not mean we have no sadness. Being positive does not mean we have no negativity. Being great does not mean we make no mistakes. Being supportive does not mean we need no help. Being a winner does not mean we never lose. Being there does not mean we don't need others. Being on a journey does not mean we need no map. Being in love does not mean we have no hate. Being authentic, honest, and real means we are striving to be healthy humans in touch with ourselves and others. Being on the path of life means we embrace our humanness and move forward one step at a time. I thank you for listening. It means a lot to share that poem, and I think that really shows where I'm trying to head with this. We're all vulnerable human beings. We all have our own challenges in life and trying to get our stuff together and trying to stay focused and stay motivated. And one of the main goals of Mind Your Mind is to keep you motivated and keep you on that track. I sincerely look forward to hearing from you. I hope you'll send me a line and let me know what's on your mind and what are things that you want to hear about as we develop the content. It's a really exciting project. And once again, I started with the question of, yes, I know mindfulness and I know that minding my own mind is helpful, but who is Joseph Tropper that he could help me? And I leave you off with, I'm another vulnerable human being who's in the position of counseling others, working with other people, and seeing them at their highest and at their lowest points, and having a desire to share. I have training as a mental health therapist. I'm a proud husband and a proud father, and I'm another human being who's trying to find success in life and find happiness in life. And I would love to share with you along the way, and I would love to hear from you along the way as we learn to mind our mind together. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to mind your mind. For more practical ideas and to make sure you never miss an episode, visit us at mindyourmindonline.com.